Hello, brides and grooms. Welcome to my wedding tips series. I guess you could call it season 2. If you want to see the tips that I've already done, there's a link to that playlist in the description. Be sure to leave a comment with whatever your questions are, and I will get to them in a future video. But in this series, I'm going to be talking mostly about just the things that you'll be going through during the planning process, and I will be answering your questions. So be sure to leave your question, and I'll make sure to get to that. So today's topic, we are talking about the engagement session. Okay, first things first, do you need an engagement session? Now, some people are on the fence about whether they need one or not, or didn't think that they do need one. But let's talk about why you might actually want an engagement session. First of all, it's a chance for you to get to know your photographer. If you're hiring me, it's a chance for you to get to know how I work. I have lots of little coaching tricks that you might see in future videos, but you'll get to know those, so they won't be a surprise on the wedding day. They won't be something that you'll have to be taught beforehand. It just makes the wedding day a lot more smoother when you've already worked with me before. Secondly, your photographer is another friendly face, so on the wedding day, it's not just, hey, who's that guy? Your photographer is the number one person you spend the most time with besides your spouse on the wedding day. But it also gives you an opportunity to give you some things that you might need. First of all, save the dates. Those generally go out 3 to 6 months before the wedding, letting people know, especially anyone who's out of town, that your wedding is happening. Secondly, you can do a guest book. The way I design guest books is I take your engagement session photos, they get put in a layout that has a lot of negative space with big statement images. So guests can see your beautiful engagement photos as they're flipping through and signing your guest book. And finally, it is a chance for you to get some images and art for your home where it looks a little different than your wedding. Not every image needs to be you dressed up into the nines, but engagement sessions can be casual or formal. They can be in a different location that you couldn't actually do on your wedding day, or you can slow down, take your time to get the more statement art pieces that of course would not be able to happen on the wedding day just because of the setup required or location required. So hopefully I have you convinced that you do need an engagement session. So let's start planning that out. First, when does it happen? Well, like I said, for save the dates, since those are 3 to 6 months before your wedding, you want to give your photographer about a month to edit photos and order any prints that you may need. Secondly, location. Now, location is and isn't important to your shoot. Let me unpack that a little bit for you. Location can be very important. This image, the couple saw this rock on Pinterest. This is at Cape Kiwanda, and they said, I want that specific rock. But location can also not be important. Talk to your photographer because they may think of some things that may not be traditionally beautiful, but may work really well for you. For example, this was taken on a small patch of dirt on UW campus that you would not think of to photograph because frankly the location was a little ugly. On one side of the street you have a dorm room, and on the other side of the street you have a busy road with lots of cars. But you have this little thing, so the location for the most part was not important. Your photographer can find something amazing to work with in any location. Or you could find a more non-traditional location. For instance, this couple wanted graffiti. So I scouted, I'm local to Seattle, I scouted Seattle for other graffiti that wasn't covered up or tagged, gave them a couple different location options, and so we went around just shooting them in front of graffiti so we could make some beautiful art like this. Now, depending on what you want, like I said, location can or cannot be important to your shoot. The shoot should really be more about you as the couple than the location that you're at. And so any photos of you guys that is close up, especially taken with longer lenses, you're not going to see the background. The background is not important. But sometimes the background can be incredibly important. So this photo, you have no idea where it was taken. It doesn't matter. It's not important. It's a pretty picture of the couple. Now, this photo is important. So this is actually where they got engaged. So to them, that means everything. So think about what could be cool to you. Do you want graffiti? Do you want urban? Do you want to go out to the middle of the mountains? There was one couple who had no idea what they wanted to do. And so I said, well, what do you guys like to do together? And they told me, well, every single morning we walk through Pike Place with our Starbucks. So we met in Starbucks, and their engagement session was walking through Pike Place and then down by the Seattle Pier. So an engagement session can be anything you want it to be. The only restriction is your imagination. So those are my wedding tips on engagement sessions. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this, be sure to subscribe to see the rest of my content. And here's a video YouTube thinks you might like after watching this one. So thank you so much. See you in the next video.